guys, it's Annabella. Peace.
Alright, today we're going to talk about division with integers. A lot of y'all are going to look at this and say it's a fraction, but all fractions mean division. All fractions mean division. So, I'm going to teach you how to work with division, long division, because a lot of y'all were given calculators, and we got to kind of understand how to do it by hand, especially when we get into factoring quadratics. So, we're going to take this one first. Anytime you see a fraction like this, every single time, the number on the top gets flipped, okay? So the number on the top goes inside the house, and the number on the outside goes on the outside, okay? Alright? This is called the divisor, and this is called the dividend. Divisor, dividend. So top goes inside, bottom goes outside. So we're going to talk about long division because I think that somewhere along the way we kind of struggle with that, so we're going to go over how to do long division. Alright? So what you're going to do is the first thing you're going to say is, can 9 go into 1? If you have 9, hold up one finger, can you fit 9 into it? No. So therefore 9 cannot go into 1, so I'm going to put a 0. Whatever is at the top gets multiplied by this number. So we're going to say 0 times 9 is 0. And then we're going to subtract. So 1 minus 0 is 1. After we subtract, we're going to bring down this next number, and now I have a 15. Okay? So I'm starting completely over. What number times 9 gives me 15? So what you can say is, how many times can 9 fit into 15? It can fit in once, because 9 times 1 is 9, but 9 times 2 is 18. 18 is too big, so we can't use a 2, we have to use a 1. So same thing, I'm at the top. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract. 15 minus 9 is 6, of course. Bring down our next 6. So now I'm going to go back to the top. 6 times what will equal, 9 times what will give me 66? And the truth is, there is no answer that's going to fit evenly. So I can go ahead and figure out off to the side what equals close to 66. If you know your multiplication, great. If you don't, you pick a number, multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. That is too small, so therefore I'm not going to choose a 5. It's not super close either, so I might go up a little. So I'm going to go off to the side again. Let's say 9 times 7. 9 times 7 is 63. Well, 63 is very close to 66. So what that means is I can say that it's going to be a 7. So the 7 would go at the top. 7 times 9 is 63. Okay? Again, I'm going to subtract. Now, if I notice there is no other number over here for me to bring down. So for right now, I want you to put your answer as a fraction. What you're going to do is you're going to take this remainder and you're going to put it up here at the top. And you're going to take this remainder right here, which is a 9, and you're going to put it at the bottom. Okay? So technically, your answer is 17 3/9. But we need to talk about reducing, and this is why you have to have those facts memorized. If I have 17 3/9, that can be reduced. There's a number that can go into a 3 and can go into a 9, and that number is a 3. So to simplify, I would divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So therefore my answer is not 17 3/9. It's actually 17 1/3. And this is how it's going to look like on a test. Whenever you take a test, it will not have this because it's not in simplest form. It will have this. Alright? They were both positive, so our answer stays positive. Alright, let's do another one. Alright, so now we're going to try this one. We're going to make the numerator, which is the number on top, a negative, and we're going to make our denominator, which is the number on bottom, a positive. So if we remember our multiplication, we understand that a negative times a positive gave us a negative. Well, a negative divided by a positive still gives us a negative. So no matter what, I understand that my answer will be a negative. Alright? So again, the number on the top goes inside the house. The number on the bottom goes outside. And again, I'm not worried about the positive or negatives, because if I have that memorized and I understand that a negative divided by a positive is a negative, I don't have to worry about it here. It'll confuse you, so don't. Just memorize it. So we're going to do long division again. How many times can 5 fit into 2? Well, it can't. Hold up 2 fingers. You can't fit in 5, so therefore I'm going to put a 0. 0 times 5 gives me 0. Subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Bring down the 2. Okay? So now I'm going to see how many times can 5 go into 20. So if you know your multiplication facts, awesome, you can go on. If you don't, we got to go off to the side. And it takes more time. Remember that EOC is time. So we're trying to get as fast as we can, which is why it's so important to have those facts memorized. So I'm going to go off to the side. I'm going to pick a number. 5 times 3 is 15. That's close, but it's not close enough. So I'm going to try another number. 5 times 4 is 20. Well, that's perfect. That's close. So I'm going to put a 4. 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to bring down. So now I have to ask myself, what number times 5 equals 25? Well, most of us know it. It's memorized. It's 5. So now 5 times 5 gives me 25. I'm going to subtract, and there's no remainder. So if there's no remainder, my answer is 45. But because I was smart in the very beginning, I know that I put a negative here, so therefore it's a negative 45. Alright? I hope that helps for this way. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. This is a negative divided by a positive. So a negative divided by a positive is still a negative. And this is the long division part of it. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. This one is one of the ones I'm going to want you to have memorized, by the way. Here, we're going to be smart about this. Sorry, I'm going to turn our little camera. Hi. Alright. Negative times a negative gave us a positive. Therefore, a negative divided by a negative still gives us a positive. And I do that first so I don't have to deal with it later on. Alright? So this says 169 divided by 13. Alright, so we're going to write it again. Top goes inside, bottom goes outside. So how many times can 13 go into 1? You can't. So we're going to put a 0. 0 times 13 is 0. Subtract. Bring down. If the arrows help you like they did here, use them. If you don't need them, don't do it. I don't care as long as you're getting it right. How many times can you fit 13 into 16? Well, we all know that answer is 1. So 1 times 13 is 13. And I'm again going to subtract. And then I'm going to bring down. Now, if you notice, you're only bringing down one number at a time. Here, here, and everywhere else. You can only bring down one number at a time. And if you notice, each arrow comes down another flight of stairs. They're not next to each other. So now we got to figure out how many times can 13 go into 39. If you have your 13s memorized like I want you to, you know it by heart. If not, you go off to the side, pick a number. 13 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. Well, that's not it, so I know it's bigger than that, so I'm going to pick the next number. 13 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3, so it's 39. So I got my answer. So that means that 3 that I found goes up here at the top. 3 times 13 gave us 39. 39 minus 39 is 0. So that means my answer is 13. Because I was smart and I went ahead and said a negative divided by a negative is a positive, I don't have to worry about the symbol. I can just write the number. Okay? Alright, so one more thing. Again, just like with the multiplication, I kind of gave you some notes and I said, hey, memorize this. This would be it. If you have a positive divided by a positive, your answer will be a positive. Now remember, fractions are division. If I have a negative divided by a negative, my answer will also be a positive. If I have a positive divided by a negative, my answer is a negative. Or if I have a negative divided by a positive, my answer will still be a negative. So if you notice, it doesn't matter if the negative's on the top or the bottom, just like here. If one is positive and one is negative, your answer will be negative. Negative, positive, still a negative. Alright guys, I hope that helps. Have a good day. Belle?
Bye.